What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, guys. We back checking out some Viking history or ancestry. I've checked out some Viking stuff on or ancestry history on my other channel, but this is my history geography channel, so I'm gonna do a little bit more of that over here on this side. So signs of Viking ancestry you shouldn't ignore. Let's see. I seen on the thumbnail or something they looking at somebody's hand or something. So I don't know. But y'all follow your boy on Instagram, Twitter. Do have a Patreon if you have some special requests or movie, TV shows, music, albums, whatever. Let me know over there. But other than that, signs of Viking ancestry. Weird world.
The ferocious seafaring Vikings were a feared Scandinavian invader from the late 700s AD. Over 3 centuries, their ships carried the ruthless warriors to nearby and distant lands, which included the British Isles and Northern Europe. They ranged as far as Northern Africa, the Middle East, the Mediterranean,
They were everywhere,
and present-day Turkey and Canada. Doing battle as pirates, raiders and traders, the Viking voyagers formed settlements
them boat
and
drive-bys
governments in many parts of the world, establishing themselves and their descendants as rulers and nobility. The saying that we all carry a little Viking DNA is probably not too inaccurate.
I might have a little
For many
Viking in me.
descendants, the Viking Age in England started in earnest in June of 793. Vikings tore down the abbey on Lindisfarne, an island considered holy off the northeastern coast.
Dang. I kind of seen that. I was watching the Viking series. I did a couple of reactions, but I was like, dang, I think I just want to watch this. I don't know about no reaction. I'll just watch it. I think I'm on like season 4. But they did the same thing on the show. They did the same thing, even though I don't know how accurate.
Island considered holy off the northeastern coast. The desecration of the sacred outpost was described by Alcuin, an Anglo-Saxon scholar, in Charlemagne's court, who declared, "Never before has such a terror appeared in Britain," naming the attackers as heathens from a pagan race.
Not the heathens.
Perhaps astonished at the vulnerable, wealthy and unarmed communities to their west, by 866 the Danish Vikings had invaded York, and in 876 began to besiege northern and eastern England. Quashing several smaller Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, they eventually came to control a third of the British mainland. Their territory became known as
They were taking
Danelaw,
everything.
as they battled with English kings over the next 80 years. The Viking Age in England probably ended in 1066, when the Saxon King Harold Godwinson repelled an invasion from Norwegian King Harold III at the Battle of Stamford Bridge in Yorkshire. The 200 years of Viking occupation did leave behind many reminders in the form of language, place names, and of course genetics. In fact, lack of local mating opportunities is thought to be a primary motivator in the Nords' global expansion.
I wonder if you can trace back, I forgot, what's the thing called? Like the ancestry.com stuff. I wonder if some people actually found out that they have Viking ancestry and stuff like that. DNA. Through all these type of things. I never tried it, but I heard people like that. I heard they can track back like some time, like a long from time ago type of thing.
A map found on
I don't know the
Ancestry
accuracy
website
of it, but
showing surmised averages of Scandinavian DNA ethnicity across Great Britain and Ireland indicates a spread pattern that seems to reflect known events of Viking invasion. The highest level of Scandinavian descent is seen in northeast England and declines as it spreads further outwards from that region. The first and easiest way to check if you may have some long-lost Viking ancestor is in your family name. The Danes of that era used the system of patronymics to designate the lineage of their children. A newborn would be named after their father or sometimes their mother. An example is that the son of Ivar would be given their own first name, then followed by Ivar's son. A girl's second name would be Ivar's daughter. Over the centuries, many of these names, which end in sen or son, have evolved into now well-known surnames.
And see, I thought, hey, my last name is Wilson. Wilson, but I be seeing some Wilson. It'd be a different spelling, but sure, you never know. Like you said, with that son at the end, I don't know.
Thompson, Jackson, and Watson.
And these are common names even here in the States.
In Iceland today, but in Scandinavia has been replaced by family names. Another naming custom then was to refer to some personal characteristic of the ancestor, using words such as short, tall, love, wise, long, or good, etc. The name Goodman is an example.
Goodman.
Another is the name Flat, which was adopted by a Nord who had settled on the flatlands of East Anglia. Many Scottish, Irish, and of course Scandinavian names can also denote a Viking predecessor. Unfortunately, our Viking ancestors also bestowed a couple of hereditary health problems on the wider world.
Dang.
A recent archaeological dig at Viking latrine pits in Denmark found that the strong and fearsome warriors suffered badly from internal worm infestations.
Oh, man.
Research
That's
into
hereditary?
Vikings' DNA found that in order to deal with this condition, their genes adapted to better protect their bodies from the parasites.
I didn't even know that's hereditary. What in the world?
The trait can still be found in their descendants today, but new studies by the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine has determined that this protective gene could also be problematic.
Wow.
Those who inherit this enzyme inhibitor gene are more at risk of lung diseases such as emphysema. The Vikings never lived long enough to experience this knock-on effect. A Viking heritage is also generally blamed for another condition called Dupuytren's contracture.
What is that?
Found in 1 to 2% of the population, where there is usually a family history of it, the disease is much more common in men and anecdotally linked to the rowing of longships. It causes progressive retraction of the fingers, resulting in permanently clenched hands that can only be treated with surgery.
Isn't that what we call arthritis, basically? But I could just imagine, because just thinking of Vikings, when they travel at sea, wherever they went, they're not just traveling, like, of course, like, if I see videos, movies, like I said, I seen the Viking show, to us, they're just, they're rolling. But they're traveling, like, I'm listening to them talking, like, hey, we've been on water for a month. We've been on water for weeks. And they were, like, it took that amount of time. Like, I can only imagine. I would definitely get arthritis in my hands if I was rowing the boat that long. Like, being on water for a month, that's a long time. That's too long, if you ask me.
Northern European, with the highest numbers found in Iceland. Interestingly, Sweden and Edinburgh have a similar level of prevalence. The Norse homeland, from where the Vikings originated, now forms modern-day Denmark, Norway and Sweden. To reassure any who are concerned about their possible Viking ancestry, there has been some myth-busting around the Nords' unsavoury image. There is no evidence that they wore horned helmets or drank from the skulls of defeated enemies. Even their savagery and poor hygiene are in dispute, with combs a common find in old settlements. Oh,
so they were taking care of themselves better than we thought, huh? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, boy, might have some Viking DNA in me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I couldn't imagine, like, the times back then. And just then when they raided, I see why they were probably a little bit more angry probably when they got to their destination. Like, just being on sea for that long, not knowing how much food you got on the boat and all that. It's just different. It's different. But definitely want to learn a little bit more. Check out, because on my other channel, Darter Traveler, I do a lot. Scandinavia, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, do Nordic with Finland. I do all of it. So, and I always reverts back to a lot of the Viking age that I see. So always some interesting stuff to check out. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Hey, send your boy some video suggestions. I do got a Google form in the description if y'all like to send me some more suggestions, whatever, history, geography. I'll check it out for you guys. But that's all I have. Y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.